All right, the next thing we want to take a look at is securing our web applications or securing access to our web applications with HTTPS. And again, we're going to show you two different ways of doing it. Again, first the built-in way to do it using Express, and then again how we can do it using the HTTP proxy module. So let's start with the Express way of doing things, and I will create a HTTPS 1 folder. And in that, let us npm install Express again and just be lazy. So let's go to the HTTPS one, and we'll call this, let's just call it HTTPS express.js. So we are going to need to write some code for the server, but before we do that, we need to actually run a few commands. And let's save these out just so I don't lose them later. I'm going to need to run these three commands to generate some certificates. And these are going to be development certificates, which we would absolutely never use in a production environment, but they're good temporary certificates we can use now to sort of test HTTPS development and make sure everything works by and large correctly. Then when I'm ready to deploy, I would have to then go to a real certificate authority, buy some real production certificates, and use those. So all Mac and Linux, Unix-like machines come with OpenSSL as a command built in. If you are running on Windows, the good news is if you Google search openssl.exe for Windows, somewhere under the GNU projects you can just download openssl.exe and you'll be able to run these exact same commands on Windows just like all your Mac and Linux brethren can. So let's go ahead and run these commands right now, and we'll just run them in our folder here, and that will generate a couple of files for us here, specifically privkey. Actually, the ones we want are the sort of the certificate request and the new cert. No, actually, we want the priv key. We're going to use this one, and then the new certificate, and this is just a temporary file along the way. All right, so let's go ahead and run these three commands. Whoopsie, it actually would help if I copied them to the clipboard, and I'll just paste them. And oopsie, I have to do one at a time. Bad luck. All right, so we'll first run this one, and then we will run this one, and we will run it from, we'll just use US, we'll run it Washington State. We'll call it Seattle. We'll call it Mark's LL Co. for live lessons. Nah, Mark. That's fine. Fine, fine. And we're good. Now I should be able to generate the final certificate. And I do have the new certificate, and I do have the private key there. So I will save that out. Let us go ahead and write the code we need to do our work. So I'm going to require three modules. I'm going to require express. Var express equals require express. I'm also going to use an HTTPS module, which will actually do all of the SSL HTTPS traffic for us. And then I'm going to need file system again to do some to load in the certificates and everything. So I'm going to say var, let's close you out correctly. I need a var private key, and I'm going to use this read file sync method again here, and I'm going to load in privkey.pem like that, and then I am going to convert it to a string format. Next, I am going to load in the certificate, and that is in new cert.pem. So we'll say new cert.pem like that. And then I'm going to say var options equals key, private key, and certificate is in the local variable cert. Now let's create an Express app to run everything, or to sort of get an app running. And I'm going to say app.get star function request response res.end. This is secret Ooh, and let's put a new line to be sociable. Now I have to somehow hook HTTPS up to this Express module, and that is with the to this Express app. And the way I'm going to do that is using https.create server like this. And I'm going to say options app, and I'm going to have it listen on 8443 because 443 is secure. And I'm also going to give it just a little function just to say console.log listening for secure traffic like that. And that's all I need to do. So let us go ahead and run. If we see here, you'll see I have my new server. Assuming I typed that all in correctly. Oh, I did not. Okay, there is no create server on HTTPS. That is because I did express instead of require. Good. Let's run that again. Listening for secure traffic. Okay, let's go ahead to our browser here. And I'm going to say local host 8443 because now I'm looking for secure traffic. I have to do HTTPS. There we go. Now, you'll see here it doesn't like the certificate. This is a sort of test certificate I called Mark. It's very unhappy with it. In a real production environment, this is absolutely, it is not acceptable to use this, but for our purposes, it's totally cool. And then we print out our secret message. So that is how we do HTTPS support using just Express and the built-in HTTPS HTTPS module.